Hey everybody, it's Greg LaBeouf. Welcome to another episode of Awaken, the ProtectR Within. And today I want to talk to you guys about waiting for Superman.
So the big question was this: what do good people do when a society's laws and institutions fail to keep them safe from aggression and violence? How do you get through a growing number of angry, hateful, aggressive people and still remain physically, mentally, and emotionally strong and positive? That was the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Greg LaBeouf, and welcome to Awaken the ProtectR Within.
Okay, what does it mean to be waiting for Superman? Who is Superman? Well, when it comes to dealing with violence and aggression, Superman takes many forms. People are waiting for the police to show up. People are waiting for the school board to do something. People are waiting for the teachers to do something. People are waiting for other parents of the person that is bullying their child to do something. People are waiting for innocent or for other bystanders or people that happen to be around when you're experiencing violence or aggression out in your life, road rage. They're waiting for other, drivers to step out of their vehicles. They're waiting for coaches on teams to say something. They're waiting for the parents to step in and say something. The whole world is waiting for Superman. When it comes to aggression and violence, in that moment when it is happening, the default response for most people is to wait. Is to wait for somebody, to wait for the hero, to wait for somebody else to step up. But I'm going to tell you something that you already know. Okay? Superman, 9 out of 10 times, will not show up in time. I'm not saying that there's not a Superman. I'm not saying that there's not good people out there. I'm not saying that there's not, law enforcement. There's not people that would help with this. There's not first responders. There's not good Samaritans that would step in. That there's not good parents whose children might be bullying somebody that will take action, that will discipline, that there's not good principals and good teachers and school systems and disciplinary. I'm not saying that there's not good laws and that our legal system doesn't work. I'm saying that all of these different things, for most people, are the Superman that will save them from the effects of aggression, violence, from being targeted or from becoming the victim of. But what I am telling you, what you already know, is that 9 out of 10 times, Superman will be too late to help you. Okay, so listen, what do we need to do here? We have got to be ready. We have got to have a plan. We've got to have a system. We've got to have the training. We've got to have the knowledge. And I know that sounds overwhelming, but we have got to prepare ourselves because you and you alone are your Superman. You are your first responder. You are the one that must have the answers to this. And it's not as difficult, it's not as challenging, it's not as overwhelming as what you think. And I'll tell you something, that you don't actually have to be the person that you think you have to be to do this. What do I mean by that? I mean, you don't have to be 6'8" and 350 pounds to handle confrontation. You don't have to be a man to handle confrontation. You don't even have to be an adult to handle confrontation well. You just have to be willing. You have to recognize. So today I want to share something. I want you to understand that Superman cannot be your Superman. Your hero cannot be somebody outside of yourself. If you find yourself in a situation and somebody outside of you, a third-party person, is there when it happens and steps in or is there to deflect it or to stop it or to say whatever it is, that's awesome. Consider yourself very blessed. But 9 out of 10 times, Superman is too late. Let me give you a couple examples because stories sell and the facts tell. I'm not going to hit you with statistics. Last night, if you listen to my podcast or you follow me, you know that I do a lot of presentations for pharmacists. Pharmacies are high-risk targets. There's an opiate crisis going on in this country, across North America, and pharmacists and pharmacies are high-value targets. And last night, a friend of ours was robbed again, robbed at knife point. And I want you to understand that the second that this person came in, handed him a note, saying and showed him the knife, said, "I'm not afraid to use it. Hand me all of the the drugs that they wanted. They wanted the money. They wanted specific drugs, which we're not going to get into. But handed the note. The robbery is going on. There's 3 other customers. There's 1 other staff. The customers are freaking out. The staff doesn't know what to do. Yeah, he hit the silent alarm right away. It's wired directly to the police, and he kept this individual in the store for 4.5 minutes, believing that the police would be there. Did the police show up? Not in time. Nope. It was only once this person left, they locked the door, they got on the phone, had to phone 911, had to wait, and the police, of course, why weren't they there? Why didn't they respond to the alarm? Because they were busy. Not because they're lazy, because they were busy. It happens. You'll get prioritized. But you see, Superman wasn't there. Superman was late. Okay, now you go to school system. I can tell you about a family that was going through bullying, and what are they doing? Well, they talk to the teacher, and then they wait. And the teacher can't do anything, so they talk to the principal, and then they wait. And the principal can't do anything. Then they talk to their parents, and they wait. And the parents can't do anything. Then they're going to say, oh, let's take it to the school district. But that's going to take 2-3 weeks. What's happening the whole time while everybody's waiting for Superman? The bullying continues. The victim or the target continues to suffer. Why we're what? Why we're waiting. You know what the easiest thing to control is? You. That's the only thing you can control in this world. But everybody's waiting for somebody else to save the day. Everybody's waiting for somebody else to come up with a solution. Okay, we have got to stop waiting for Superman. Okay, I could go on, and I know that every single person out there. Let me tell you actually one more. There's a lady that I know that she had 3 men in the middle of the night kicking at her front door. Was on the phone with the police. And the police said, do you see any weapons? Well, how am I supposed to see? They're on the other side of the door trying to smash our door down. Said, okay, well, if you don't see any weapons, let us know if you see any weapons, or let us know if it escalates. Escalates? They're trying to kick in my front door. How much more could it escalate? The next level of escalation is they're through the front door and they're in my house, and me and my family are now in extreme danger. Okay? But they had a busy night. It was a Saturday night and they were busy. And so they got deprioritized. Guess what? Guess how much later that was before the police could show up? 6.5 hours. This is the next day. Luckily, the individuals didn't actually break the door down. Again, people, we're waiting for Superman. I'm not taking anything away from first responders. I'm not taking anything away from Good Samaritans. I'm not taking anything away from anybody that is willing and has the skills and the knowledge and the capability to step in and to help people in a time of need, especially in the face of aggression and violence. What I'm saying is that there's never going to be enough people like that. You have got to stop waiting for Superman, and you have got to take on the responsibility. Now, let me just touch on the other thing that I said. Most people have a false image of what they would need to do to become their own Superman when it comes to aggression and violence. People are scared of learning or taking self-defense or learning to fight, or I don't know what it is. They think the physical. I'm going to do another podcast on this because people are like, I don't know what you think the physical is. I don't know what you think you need to be to learn how to physically defend yourself. The reality is that when it comes to actual violence, there's a system, and the system is so simple to teach people. It is more about tactics and mindset and concepts than it will ever be about the physical prowess of how to actually fight. You're not standing toe-to-toe. You're not competing with these individuals. You need a way to cheat. You need a way to give yourself as many advantages as possible. And it's easy. I mean, ever played a game? Play any game and play it fairly, and it's tough to win. You actually need some skill sets. But when you understand what the game is and you understand how to cheat, which legally is absolutely your right, you know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know what it is, but people have this false image that they have to be something. They have to be this like MMA fighter. They have to be this martial artist, or you got to be like, I've had people that have stopped, that have talked to me and desperately need training, and they won't come because they think they're not flexible enough, or they can't run a mile in under 4 minutes. I don't know. There's so many crazy paradigms of what people think they need to be before they would be able to become their own hero, become their own Superman, and understand actually how to not just survive in the face of aggression and violence, but to thrive. So listen, this is more just a bit of a rant, okay? But it's just such a thing where we have gotten conditioned to wait for Superman to show up and save the day. There's many people I've met over 25 years that have an expectation that the police, it is their responsibility to keep us safe, that it is the school system's responsibility to keep us safe, that it is the legal system's responsibility to keep us safe. Listen, they have a certain amount of responsibility within this whole structure. But if you think that all of the responsibility, or even the majority of the responsibility, is on that system or those individuals, you are kidding yourself. You need to understand that the greatest onus of responsibility and where it starts is on you. It is on us personally. Evil prevails when good people stand by and do nothing. So stop waiting for Superman to show up. Let's pull our heads out of the sand. Let's see it for what it is, not worse than it is. Let's see what we need to do, what we need to learn, what we actually need to grow into and become. Let's see that all for what it is, because get past all the Hollywood crap and recognize that we can teach children to literally dominate confrontation. You can teach children, you can teach adults, you can teach seniors. Makes no difference. All right, everybody, listen, I'm going to end it here. Stop waiting for Superman. Take action. Become your own hero. All right, because 9 out of 10 times Superman's, at the very least, going to be very late to that party. All right, everybody, that's it. Until next time, as always, please stay safe, stay ready, and remember, stepping off that X is only one step away.
Want to awaken your protector within? If so, then head to awakentheprotectorwithin.ca and get your free Off the X training today.